Today we will be dealing with the chapter Ayurveda Nirupana, which is the first chapter of Padartha Vijnana. In this chapter, we will be dealing with Ayu Lakshana, that is the definition of life, Lakshana of Ayurveda, definition of Ayurveda, and about Siddhanta and types of Siddhantas and some basic principles or the fundamental theories of Ayurveda and the importance of these fundamental theories in Ayurveda. So let's look into each topics. So Ayu Lakshana, which is the definition of life. Sharira Indriya Sattvatma Samyoge Dhari Jividam Nityagascha Anubandascha Paryareirayuruchyade. That is, Ayu is the combination of physical body, that is the Sharira, sense organ, that is the Indriya, Manas or mind, and soul and Atma. Life depends upon the coexistence of these four factors, which means that life is not merely the existence of a machine like physical body, that a physical body does not constitute life. For a life to be there in a physical body, there should be a conscious interaction of soul, mind, and sense organs. That these are the constituents which make it live. So life is a combination of all these four factors, not only one, like Sharira, organs, that is sense organs, Indriya, Manas and Atma, which is the soul. And all these components of life, it undergoes modifications with time. Like everything changes with time, right? Like Sharira, it changes with time, and our mind, everything, except for Atma. Atma is something eternal, something that is unchanging. In this sloga itself, we can see some synonyms of Ayu. They are Dhari, Jivida, Nityaka, Anubandha, etc. Here, Dhari means something that which holds. Maybe it means that something that holds Atma, like that. And Jivida means something which is alive. Nityaka means something which is continuously moving, something that is continuous. And Anubandha means interdependent or something that bonds, like that. Now let's look into the Lakshana of Ayurveda, which is the definition of Ayurveda. Hidahidam sukham dukkhamayus tasya hidahidam manam cha tacha yatroktam Ayurvedaha sauchyate. Which means Ayurveda is a science that deals with the good and bad, happy and unhappy life, and the quality and the measure of the life are explained in this science, wherein there is a description of complete and incomplete life. Which means the science Ayurveda, it talks about every aspects of life, whether it is good and bad, happy, unhappy, and even the measurement of life and the quality is also explained in this science. And in this Sughayu and Hidayu, it helps us to achieve the four Purusharthas of life, which is Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. Now let's move to the next topic, that is Siddhanta or theory. The definition goes like this. Siddhanto nama sayaha parikshagair bahuvidam pariksha hedu bishcha sadayitva stapyate nirnayaha. Which is, a theory is the final decision or conclusion made by the acharyas after testing it in several ways and proving it with reasoning. Which is, a theory is a demonstrated truth that is established by the experts after several examinations and observations with certain reasons and logics. That is the theory. Now let's look into the Siddhanta Bheda, the types of theories. Sat Chadurvidaha Sarvatantra Siddhanta Praditantra Siddhantaha Adhikarana Siddhantaha Abhyubhagama Siddhantaschedi, which says it is Chadurvida. It is four types. They are Sarvatantra Siddhanta, which is a universal theory, and Praditantra Siddhanta is the textual theory, and Adhikarana Siddhanta, contextual theory, and Abhyubhagama Siddhanta, which is the hypothesis. Now let's look into each of this. Sarvatantra Siddhanta. Tatra Sarvatantra Siddhanto nama tasmin sarvasmin tantra tat prasiddham. That is the one which is universally accepted by all the treatises and also which is found in every treatise on the subject. Which is this theory, it is explained in every shastras. Means it is similar, it is universally accepted, some topic that is universally accepted by all the acharyas, and it is similar in every shastras, and it is relevant and accepted by all the tantras. And it will be more clear when we discuss an example. The example goes like this: for every curable disease there are causes and remedies. We know that, like, for every disease to occur there will be a cause. Without a cause there is no disease, right? So there is some pathological cause for every disease, and for a disease there is a cure also. So this theory is accepted by all the acharyas, so it is universally accepted. Something which is universally accepted is called as Sarvatantra Siddhanta. The next one is Pratitantra Siddhanta. Pratitantra Siddhanto nama tasmin ekaigasmin tantra tat prasiddham. So Pratitantra Siddhanta is something that is the one which is not universal in nature and held by only one of the texts, and may be different from other treatises. That is, like, it will be different, some topic that is different in each acharya's opinion. Like in one text it will be like this, and in other texts it will be completely different opinion. So the example goes like this: according to Charaka Samhita there are 6 rasas, but in other treatises or other texts it may be 8. That is, according to Charaka there is only 6 rasas, Shad rasas, and according to some other acharyas there may be more. Like, difference of opinion. That is what Pratitantra Siddhanta. And according to Charaka Samhita there are only 5 sense organs, like 5 indriyas are according to Charaka Samhita, and it may be different to other acharyas. So, and also according to Charaka, the cause of disease is the 3 doshas or infectious agent. It can be due to infectious agent, which is Bodha, and the 3 doshas, the 3 humors in our body, which is Vada, Pitta and Kapha. According to Charaka it is like that, but other acharyas are saying that, some other acharyas are saying that the cause of the disease are only these humors, body humors like Vada, Pitta and Kapha, and it is not due to any infectious agent. So in some context the opinion of the acharyas changes, and that is known as Pratitantra Siddhanta. Now the next one is Adhikarana Siddhanta. Adhikarana Siddhanto nama sa yasmin adhikarane prastuyamane siddhanta anyanya anyabhya adhikaranani bhavanti. That is, the one which is established by the implication of other proofs, which is, in other words, we can say that one which is determined by the implication in the course of statement of fact. And it will be more clear when we look into the example. When the statement disease occur when nidhana causes dosha dushti is accepted, which means this is accepted, this statement is accepted, that is the disease is caused by some nidhanas, and these nidhanas causes dosha dushti. That is when the disease is happening. Due to some etiological factors, these etiological factors make some changes in our body, which results in diseases. It is a statement and it is accepted universally or accepted by all, which means that each topic in this statement is also true. That is, all the theories related to diseases are true, all the theories related to nidana is accepted, all the theories related to dosha dushti is also accepted. That's why this whole statement is accepted. That is what is Adhikarana Siddhanta, which means the one which is established by the implication of other proofs. Here there is a proof that this statement is accepted. So we can also assume that each topic in this statement is also accepted. It's simply that. That is Adhikarana Siddhanta. The next one is Abhyabhagama Siddhanta. So Abhyabhagama Siddhanto nama sa yadartham asiddham aparikshitam anubadishtam ahedugam va vadakale abhyabhagamachandi vishajaha. That is, these are the statements or hypotheses that is stated by the acharyas during debate which are unproven, unexperimented, unreasoned, and put forth for further discussion and experimentation. Here asiddha means not yet proved, and apariksha, it is asiddha, apariksha, and anubadishta and aheduka. That is what is Abhyubhagama Siddhanta. Asiddha is not yet proven and Apariksha is not examined. Anubhadishta is not explained, or there is no proper reference for this. And Aheduka, Hedu means some cause or reason. So it is not proved by reasoning. That is what is Abhyubhagama Siddhanta. It is just some hypothesis. So these are the theories which is taken for granted by the physicians at the time of debate, and even though it has unestablished or uninvestigated, and it is not proved through reason. So that is, it's just the hypothesis. Example, during the debate, different acharyas put forward different numbers of rasas. Like during debate, everyone put forward different numbers of rasa, right? So that is a hypothesis. According to someone, this is there may be 8 rasas. According to some other acharya, there is 10 and there is 6, etc. But finally, 6 rasas are accepted after discussion and experimentation. So a hypothesis is something which is not proved by discussion, experimentation, reasoning, etc. So that's all about the topic Siddhanta, which means theory, and we also discuss about the types of Siddhanta, which is Pratitantra Siddhanta, Sarvatantra Siddhanta, Adhikarana Siddhanta, and Abhyubhagama Siddhanta. Now let's move on to the next topic, which is basic principles of Ayurveda, or the fundamental theories of Ayurveda. Ayurveda is based on fundamental principles. It has been unchanging for thousands of years due to its principle. We all know that Ayurveda is one of the oldest science, right? So there are some basic principles or fundamental theories in Ayurveda on which we are doing treatment, and Ayurveda is simply based on these principles and which is unchanging. And let's look into some important principles of Ayurveda, which is Loga Purusha Samanya Siddhanta, Panchabhuta Siddhanta, Tridosha Siddhanta, Triguna Siddhanta, Dosha Dhatu Mala Siddhanta, and Samana Vritti Siddhanta, Padartha Siddhanta, Rasa Guna Virya Vibhaga, and Prabhava Siddhanta, Sharira Siddhanta, and Chikitsa Siddhanta. Means like there are a lot of Siddhantas in Ayurveda, a lot of basic principles. Let's look into each of this. First one is Loga Purusha Samya Siddhanta, that is the theory of similarity of the universe and the man. So it says that Yat Pindhe Tad Brahmande, that is everything what is in the body is also existing in this universe. This Siddhanta is, this theory is simply based on this, that everything in this universe and our body is same. Like everything in this universe is there in our body in a minute composition. So, according to this Siddhanta, man is the epitome of this universe, and they both have similarities in minute dimensions. So, any change in this universe directly affect the human body and hence alter the health of the human body mentally, physically, and spiritually. So, the body is a microsome of the macrosome. Here, the universe is termed as a macrosome, and the living individual is termed as the microsome. So simply this theory, Loga Purusha Siddhanta, it simply states that everything in this universe, everything whatever that is present in the universe is present in the living person, and vice versa. So when the interaction between the universe and the individual is normal, then there is ease. Or whenever the interaction is normal, there is health. And when that interaction is disrupted, or is any abnormality is there, then there is disease. And I have listed out some examples like the equality, or for to understand, like water in universe is compared to clay or moisture in human body. Like that, some examples like fire, temperature, air, sun, some examples are listed out. Another basic principle of Ayurveda is Panchabodha Siddhanta. So this theory states that everything in this universe is made up of Pancha Mahabhuta, including every living and non-living things. The only thing which is differentiating living and non-living thing is soul. So everything, whether it is the any objects that we use, even the human body, everything is made up of Panchamahabhuta. Even the food that we eat, everything is Panchamahabhuta. So the Panchamahabhutas are, as we all know, like Prithvi, Jala, Agni, Vayu, and Akasha. And this perceivable world is also made up of Panchamahabhuta, and we know we have 5 sensory faculties, and each faculty is capable of receiving a special property. Let's look into it. So here in this box we can see that I have listed out the faculty or indriya and its seat or the organ where it is adhisthana, and its sense object or what it is capable of doing. And the second one I also mentioned about the predominant Mahabhuta in that particular indriya. And as I told, even though everything is made up of Panchamahabhuta, there will be a certain predominance of certain Mahabhuta in each and everything. So let's take this Srotram as an example. So let's see here, this auditory faculty is it has an adhisthana in ear, and it perceives sound, and ear has a predominance of Agasha Mahabhuta, like that. Now the next Siddhanta is Tridosha Siddhanta. Now, Tridosha Siddhanta states that even though the theory of 5 existence explains the nature of non-living things, it is not sufficient to explain the life activities. Hence, to explain the living things, the theory of 3 humor is formulated. And this theory is built on the basis of the theory of Panchamahabhuta. So this explains about the theory of, it is saying about the theory of the 3 body humors, that is Vata, Pitta and Kapha. And this theory states that health exists when there is a balance between the 3 fundamental bodily humors or substances, that is Vata, Pitta and Kapha. We all know that the Tridoshas are Vata, Pitta and Kapha, and which is the primer regulators of the body function in a sentient beings. So they are derived from Panchamahabhuta itself. Even though this bodily humors are also made up of derived from Panchamahabhuta. Now life is comprised of metabolism. Metabolism include both the catabolism and anabolism, all the building up processes and breaking down processes. So here Kapha is the anabolic factor which is responsible for the conservation of energy. Life is comprised of metabolism. It includes both anabolism and catabolism, and there should be some factors which should be responsible for these processes. So from the 3 bodily humors or the bodily substances, which is Vata, Pitta and Kapha, Kapha is responsible for all the anabolic processes and growth and maintenance of the body also. And Pitta is the catabolic factor or the factor which is responsible for all the catabolic processes like respiration, all the breaking down processes. And but these factors cannot be let free without the control of any controlling factor that regulate the catabolism and anabolism. So Vata is the controlling factor. It controls all the system. It is like a master system, like some nervous system or endocrine system, like that. So we know that Vata is only moving humor or the moving dosha, which is only Vata has the ability to move or the property of chalatva. So Vata is acting as a master system and to control Pitta and Kapha. Pitta is the catabolic factor and Kapha is the anabolic factor. Now let's look into the properties of each bodily substances or each dosha. Here Vata is the only dry and mobile humor. Yes, it is only humor which is mobile, and Vata is dry, light, cold, rough, minute and mobile. These are the properties of Vata. Now the properties of Pitta is it is slightly unctuous, it is sharp, hot, light, foul smelling, spreading and liquid. And Kapha is also unctuous, cold, heavy, sluggish, smooth, sticky and stable. And Kapha is akin to water, Pitta to fire and Vata to wind. And when we use substances or anything which is similar to the properties of these factors, for example, if we are using cold things too oftenly, or if we eat cold and light food too oftenly, we know that we have seen that cold is the property of here, Kapha here, and also of Vata. So, if we use substances and activities similar to the humor or dosha, it will increase it. So, if we use the cold substances more or cold and light substances more, these are the properties of Kapha and Vata. So, these two doshas will increase in our body. That is what is explained here. Use of substances and activities similar to the humor will increase it, and the use of substances and activities opposite to the humor will reduce it. If for example, if pitta is in increased state in our body, like so let's look into the properties of pitta. That is, it is sharp, hot, light, foul smelling, etc. So it is hot, right? So if we use pitta is increased, so we have to decrease pitta in our body, so we can use cold substances, which is opposite to the property of pitta. That is what is said here. The use of substances and activities opposite to the humor will reduce it. For example, dryness will increase vata, and it will reduce kapha and pitta, because dryness is the property of vata and it is the opposite property of kapha and pitta. And the prakriti of the person varies according to the predominance of humor present in them, and accordingly there are 7 prakritis. There are certain prakriti, constitution of person, which is innate, which is during the time of birth itself we will have a certain constitution. Like it will it is of 7 types. It's all based on this tridosha. There is vada prakriti person, there is pitta prakriti persons, there is kapha prakriti persons, and there is vada pitta, vada kapha, kapha pitta, and there is all these together, sama, vada pitta and kapha in same person itself. So their characters will also be similar to the properties of these doshas. If for example, I'll say one example, like if the person is vada prakriti, we know that the properties of vada is dry, cold, like that. So that person will be like lean. He's like somewhat lean, and he's always dry. He will be having dry hairs, like that. That person will be having the properties of that particular dosha, which he is having as prakriti. Now the koshta, like koshta of an individual is also depends upon these 3 doshas. Everything in our body is depending upon these 3 doshas. Even we know that these 3 doshas are responsible for the disease and the maintenance of health in our body. If these 3 doshas, that is vada, pitta and kapha, are maintained, it results in health. And if they are in unbalanced state, it will result in diseases. And then agni of an individual is also depends upon these 3 doshas. Now the dosha sthana, or the sthana of these 3 doshas, vata, pitta and kapha, actually these doshas are present all over the body. They are present all over the body, but at certain places it will be having a predominance in certain areas. So vata is more seen in Sroni or pelvis. Mainly vata is seen in pelvis, like there is a predominance of vata there. Actually it is present all over the body. And pitta is more in udara, or the abdominal area, and kapha is seen more in ura, so the chest area. We know that like every kapha associated disorders are from chest and thorax, right? So that's all about Triguna Siddhanta, Tridosha Siddhanta. It just explains about the 3 doshas in our body, vata, pitta and kapha, and everything that is depending upon this doshas are explained under this Siddhanta. Now the next Siddhanta is Triguna Siddhanta. The 3 gunas are Sattva, Raja and Tamas. These are considered as Manasika doshas also, right? These are the Manasika doshas, Rajas, Tamas and Sattva. And here sattva represents knowledge, pleasure. Like sattva is a good dosha. More sattvika people will be having good qualities, right? And rajas and tamas they are the manasika doshas. Actually sattva is not a manasika dosha. Rajas and tamas is the manasika doshas. They are doshas because sattva is pure, and rajas represents arrogance, aversion. It is impure. And tamas is also impure. It represents ignorance, like that. So according to the predominance of these 3 gunas, peoples are also classified as sattvika. Like sattva guna is more in that person, he will be more pure, right? He will be having pure intentions. He will be very respectful for the adults, like that. He will be always truthful. All pure gunas will be there. And if he is rajas and tamasiga, they will be having the gunas of the properties of rajas and tamas. So that is the triguna siddhanta. These three gunas are explained here. The next one is dosha, dhatu and mala siddhanta. It's states about the three doshas, seven dhadus and other malas in the body. It states that the human body is not only made up of the three doshas, but also the three types of materials. Like there are three doshas, which is the bodily humors. We have already discussed about them, vada, pitta and kapha. And there are dhadus or tissues. There are seven dhadus, and malas, waste. So the doshas are vada, pitta and kapha, and the seven dhatus are rasa, rakta, mamsa, meda, asti, majja and shukra. And like rasa means like it is the nutritional factor, rakta is the blood, and mamsa is the muscle or medas is the fat, asti is the bones, majja is the bone marrow, and shukra is semen, like that. And mala, the three malas are mutra, purisha and sweda. These are the waste products of the body. So this theory just explains about these three materials in the body, that is dosha, dhatu and mala. The next siddhanta is samana vritti siddhanta. This samana vritti siddhanta is one of the oldest theory in medicine. It just states that similar things increase the similarity and dissimilar things decreases the dissimilarity. This idea is based on the generality and speciality. It is employed here. And the next siddhanta is padartha siddhanta. And in this theory, they are explaining about the six padarthas in the universe. They are dravya, guna, karma, samanya, vishesha and samavaya. These are the six substances. So six padarthas in the universe. Dravya is a substance, guna is the property of a substance, karma is the action or function of the substance, and samanya is the generality, vishesha is the speciality, and samavaya is the inherence. And the first three, one, dravya, guna and karma, they are having a real existence, and other three is related to a thinking or a relative existence only. And the next siddhanta is rasa, guna, virya, vibhaga, prabhava siddhanta. It is actually explaining about the rasa or the taste, guna the property, virya the potency, vibhaga is the transforming principle, and prabhava is something beyond the scientific explanation. It just states about these factors. And the sharira siddhanta is the theory about body. It just explains about the human body, what and all is present in the human body. Like it is present or it is composed of this dosha, dhatu and mala, which we have already discussed. And like it has six parts, shiras, antaradi, like a trunk, and two upper limbs and two lower limbs. There are this much marmas, there are this much layers for the tvak. Like it is just explaining about everything in the human body. That is sharira siddhanta. And there is Roga Siddhanta about all the theories related to rogas, and there is Chikitsa Siddhanta, like all the theories related to treatment. Actually, there are like these are all the basic principles of Ayurveda. Like the most important things is principles are the most and foremost important principles are just what we have discussed in the first sections, like Loga Purusha Siddhanta, Pancha Bhuta Siddhanta, Triguna, Tridosha, Dosha, Dhatu, Mala. Those are most important, others are just to know about, not much important. Now let's discuss about the significance of basic principles of Ayurveda, like that what is importance of these principles in Ayurveda. So Ayurveda is different from other systems of medicine mainly due to its basic principles. And for every science, like not only Ayurveda, for every science there is two parts, like a theoretical part will be there and a practical part also. So the basic principles of Ayurveda constitute the fundamentals of the theoretical part. Like first we have to know about the theory. After knowing theory only we can apply that in a practical sense. So all the theoretical knowledge in Ayurveda is obtaining from these fundamental principles. That is, practice without theory is not considered as a scientific practice. So the fundamental principles of Ayurveda are very important, and the norms of Ayurvedic diagnosis are to be followed to arrive at a real Ayurvedic diagnosis. And we will have to think about the humors, yes, like everything, like the Ayurvedic diagnosis is also based on these theories, because Ayurveda is always based upon that bodily humors, Vada, Pitta and Kapha. So for that, diseases are also based on, like, if there is a imbalance in these three factors, disease occur. So for a person to know that, they should be knowing about the Tridosha Siddhanta. Then only he is able to diagnose a disease by considering the Vata, Pitta and Kapha, or the imbalance of those doshas in his body. And then Ayurveda understand the body and its functions differently from other system of medicines due to these principles. The diagnosis of a disease in Ayurveda is always based on these principles, because the disease causing factors are these dosha, dhadus and malas, because mainly doshas, and they causes dushti in dhadus and all. For these to be known, we have to know about the dosha siddhanta, where there is mentioning about the doshas, and we have to know about the dosha, dhatu and mala siddhanta also. So a disease may be interpreted differently by different system of medicine. So these are the main importance for our science to apply in a practically. We have to know about the theoretical part, and all the theoretical part of Ayurveda is explained in the basic theories, or the fundamental theories, and this is the main importance of the fundamental theories. So that's all about the first chapter of Padartha Vijnana, which is Ayurveda Nirupana.